Hey, what's up everyone? This is Cray and today we are having the Summoners War talks, right? So this will be the episode 3, the final one. Basically, we'll be talking about all the matches that the APAC champion and also the European champion, their journey all the way through to the grand final. So I think all in all, a lot of interesting matches that we've seen so far, like in terms of the World Finals, a lot of interesting comps as well. So we'll be harping on Pooh's and also Rex's matches, alright, in terms of World Finals. So what's up everyone? Yo, hello Vincent. We are gonna be starting off with the quarterfinals round 2 match between Les and Pooh. I think this one, we had to go a little bit on detail because I feel like in a way, Pooh, right? I feel like at one point he was down 2-0. I don't know how he actually made a comeback 3-2 after that against Les, because Les is also the 2-time world champion. So you can see here in terms of the match, it was really intense and I really like the drafting coming out from Les as well. So you can see, right? Let me just start this one. Is the volume loud? Wait, is there any volume? Seems like no. Okay, maybe we put a little bit of background music if we need. But yeah, we'll make it like that first. Hold up. So you can see here Pooh going for the Fire Megumi Chakra. So he was going around the Chakra route. And what I really feel like, he tried to bring in that Water Zenitsu, right? And I feel like it didn't do much here. Last Picking a Child is mainly like a force ban material. However, I think at this point you need to ban off the Gelnir, because Gelnir is gonna be hurting your team so bad. Like literally. So let me just put my face here. Alright. So basically today we'll just talk about all the matches that we've seen so far in the World Finals and break it down. Alright, so here he was actually afraid of the Irene. I think that is a decent ban, but then Gelnir is just going to eat you up so hard because every single time you're gonna be getting giving him stacks and whatnot, right? So here, I don't know, man. I felt like if he didn't ban the Gelnir, it's pretty much GG. That unit can single-handedly carry the whole team in terms of healing. And Rakan is always free to just go crazy with the third skill, the collapse. So here he just places it onto the Chakra, I believe. Yep, 2 turns provoke. There's gonna be clans coming out from that Light Unicorn as well, but I think Light Unicorn here isn't really that good. So yeah, let me hold up. Let me put some background music. If not, it's a little bit too quiet, guys. Okay. Just a tad bit of music here. Okay. So yeah, here you get stuns and whatnot. The game is basically gonna be dragging on for a little while. And essentially that Water Zenitsu didn't do much. So you can see even with the armor break onto the Asher, right? It didn't do any damage whatsoever. And pretty much this one is game over from the get-go when you don't ban the Gelnir. So I think Pooh started off really, in a way, slightly bad. But he managed to pull through so hard at the end. I think his go-to plan was against Les, right? Is to pick the Chakra every single time, So for me, right, I feel like his game plan was Chakra, and then he was a little bit confident going into the semifinals because semifinals he was up against the Panda Light, right? And I think probably he met Panda Light a lot of times already before in the normal RTA ladder, so he know the rune sets that he has. What's his fastest Swift? If he knows he cannot outspeed, then yeah, he can just go full on with the Dark lineup, right? So you can see a lot of interesting drafting coming up from Pooh later on as well. And that full LD draft, I think a lot of people had issues against it, as well as the Takuzo, right? Takuzo fought him in the finals for the APAC Cup. I think he didn't have any answers whatsoever towards the full LD draft. Same as Panda Light. So maybe he didn't I feel like maybe you should be preparing one of those lineup because it was something like who really wanted to do quite often. You know, in the APAC Cup finals, 3-1 victory against Takuzo, basically picking in all his LDs with the Dark. What's the guy, Rick? What's his name again? The Dark Megumi, right? Is it? The one doing damage and then keep getting Endure buff is insane. So yeah, this one, Pooh no sustain and pretty much GG. There's nothing the Eleanor can do, and Rakan is always free to do so much damage. You can see how complacent Les is. That is the face of a two-time champion, you know. Unfazed, chilling non-stop there. And Pooh here, I think he was trying to figure out what kind of lineup I need to do against that Rakan. Because Rakan is something that people don't really pick often, you know, because yet again, very slow base speed. And I think you kind of need to run it up really well in terms of making it shine. So not anyone can do it. I personally tried Rakan a few times with Nyx. Didn't go well. My Rakan couldn't move much, and then yeah, it just died. Even though my Rakan is like plus 170 something speed violent, yeah, still not enough, man. Still not enough. So you can see this one, round 2 pre-bans for the last round were the Yonhong and Nyx. I think Les did a lot of homework banning off the Nyx every single time because Nyx is one of those units I think recently he is popping off. Back in the day, not really, you know. However, I feel like Nyx needs like a ragdoll passive kind of thing where if you resist multiple debuffs on one turn, you gain like maximum 30% attack bar. Would be nice, you know, something like ragdoll, but nah, it's just 10%. So Pooh getting the ban onto the Light Gojo here. That is also one of Les' favorite unit. And I think Light Gojo nowadays is really good because turn 1, you can do whatever you want if he resists, and then you can cleanse everything, you know. It's something like a superior old Annabelle, and then he does so much damage too. So what's up, Mus? And yeah, when is the tomorrow update? I believe this week, alright, okay? I think it should be in the next few days. Because Sky Fever event is ending today, right? So I'm assuming probably another couple of days. We'll see probably on Wednesday or Thursday, okay? So yeah, Pooh, I think here he changed to... He figured out like... the Eleanor team going slow bruiser with the fire... Yeah, the fire Megumi isn't doing much. So he went for the Han, Nyx, and Nikki here, and Les has a very good answer towards it. He takes away one of the big damage dealers that Pooh loves. Okay, that is that Dark unit right there. And it's also very refreshing to see things like the Water Hacker picking up. Because I think Water Hacker is more like a budget Veronica. So there's something interesting that I think it's the only time it was picked up in the World Finals. So Asher to contest speed, going for the ragdoll Antares. I think Pooh here, he knows that his draft is compromised because of that unit that he picked. The Dark Exorcist Association Conjurer, aka the Megumi, right? So yeah, he fought back towards the ragdoll and banking on the Antares, and honestly the Antares didn't do anything up until when all of his units almost died. Like literally I think 2 units died before he got a turn. So you can see here Asher going for the buff, and then there's gonna be the strip reset followed by all the slow debuff coming out from Chandra as well. And the full reset definitely on to the Nikki, right? But failing to get the reset off. So here I think actually Han had a chance to like do some good damage. Yeah, he was thinking who to kill. I think this isn't the option though. I feel like you kinda need to burst down the Oliver first. I think Oliver... I mean, no doubt you got Antares in the field, right? Because you're banking on the passive to get the counters. So yeah, after like 10 turns, Antares cuts in between. Did a lot of damage, but not good enough. Now with Hug onto the Water Hacker as well. Kid, he's free to rain Havoc. Not gonna be dying. And then Nikki died pretty fast. I think that Nikki is on like some sort of attack build. I'm honestly not too sure. Like something like a swift attack kind of thing. So yeah, this one once Asher got the heal off and it's pretty much game over once again. You can see the Antares didn't do anything, man. I think it's like a little bit unfortunate. I think if Antares got a little bit more of an RNG, things could be a little bit closer. So yeah, Hunt here, last hit. If the Hunt proc as well, could have been nice. He could have got 2 turns, but nope. Hunt goes down and there's nothing much the Antares can do after that. Yeah, no way you're killing off like Chandra, you know, because Chandra does a lot of damage. So here, he kind of knows it. He needs to bring down the water unit. I think he tried to kill off the Asher, gets the additional turn, but to no avail. Another round of slow. I think this Chandra is on Violent, right? Seems like it doesn't get any Despair stunts. So yeah, really nice to see like all these top players, how they actually run their units. I think it's all really tight in terms of the speed tuning, you know. Unless the rune quality is so good. You know, he plays so many monsters, right? And everything is like well runed. I think easily 20 or 30 units, 180 violent and above, and I don't know how many swift sets they have. It's insane. So yeah, this one Antares getting stunned up. Yeah, Chandra here. If Antares proc a few times, like 1 or 2 here, I think he could have won, but nope. So 2-0. Yeah, you can see Les is actually smiling already. I think he kind of knew like he has it in the bag, you know. I win push full LD draft. I outspeed him. I can also bruiser pull down like pretty easily, and then out of nowhere, I don't know where he came up with some ideas to actually destroy Les out of the drafting, you know. So we started the stream a little bit late today, mainly because I needed to play Arena Rush. Yeah, I think Arena Rush very important, you know, now every day. I mean, we only get the crystals and LD scrolls like every 2 weeks. I need the crystals. I've been farming so hard. I think the past 2 weeks or so probably burned around like close to 20,000 crystals just on farming, and I don't see any improvement. So I cannot wait for the tomorrow update. I think tomorrow update is going to change a lot of things here in terms of getting better runes. And hopefully this is just the first phase of the update. Maybe they'll... I feel like another thing that they have to harp on is something like summonings. I think summonings nowadays in terms of gacha, some sort of PT system would be nice. Maybe I wouldn't like every 200 scrolls for 1 nat 5, but make it like 500. Like a force PT kind of thing for LD, you know? I think 500 scrolls for 1 LD nat 5 is kinda fair. That's essentially around like 1.5 years of saving F to P in terms of LD scrolls, right? Obviously, if you're pay to win, then yeah, it's gonna be a lot easier for you guys to get some stuff. But yeah, maybe we'll see some sort of things change. We'll see about that. But I really like the first phase of the tomorrow update. It's gonna be really good for the new players especially, and also for the old. I think old players, you know, like to break one like a 230 set Swift. Bro, I've been farming 11 years. Although I don't spend much on runes, I do spend kinda decently on summonings only, you know. But yeah, only 1 set 230, which is pretty sad. So you can see this one too. In terms of the drafting, I don't know, I think he ruined his chakra really well. That's why he was forcing it every single time. And I feel less through this match because I can show you at one point. I don't know why he didn't aim the Han. I believe it was the Han that made a decent comeback, right? So you can see here, I think the bands were on to the... Sonya was led through for some reason, I think. Yeah, I kind of forgot the bands here. Yeah, Sonya was led through, I believe. Yep. So Han pre-ban as well here. I don't know, man. I feel the Sonya aim wrong. Yeah, he couldn't kill the Nikki, you know. Is it this match? Oh wait, I think it's the next match. Also another Sonya game where he tried to snipe off the Nikki, but obviously Nikki survives. And here Nikki will go for the heal. Chakra being Chakra, I think nowadays all Indras are really good. Especially the fire one, Ben Han, right? You can see the damage. Look at the damage, man. The Light Gojo almost half-life, Sonya almost getting one-shotted, and I believe this Chakra is not on damage build. It's just like speed, HP kind of thing. Maybe speed, HP, accuracy, you never know. And it did so much damage. So this one, no way, didn't get the stun onto the Rakan. I thought he was done for, you know. If the provoke land if the collapse land the provoke, I think it's game over. So Nikki here going for the damage. Boom, boom, boom. Rakan already very low on health. Chandra can go for the hug. But essentially, I think this one... Yeah, pretty much game over. The Nyx didn't really hit hard though. But obviously, that's the slow debuff. So that kind of jeopardizes the artifact if you're running like additional damage based on speed. So at one point here, I think it was looking really scary, but Rakan goes down and there's nothing that Chandra can do against the Chakra, right? So Pooh was like, I think he knows this match is a little bit close. I feel like if let's say that Sonya aimed the Chakra, probably game over. I think the unit probably will almost die. Although there's shield runes, but 30k damage onto Chakra. Could die, could not. Yeah, we'll probably just skip a little bit of the pre-bans here because for some reason, right, he really likes to take his time on the pre-ban. It takes like 1 minute. Yeah, he waits the timer every single time to basically think through his what is the best possible unit that he really wants to bring into the fight. So you can see he really take it meticulously. Always down to 0 seconds whenever he goes for all the pick and face. So it takes a long time, you know. And there's quite a lot of matches for us to cover up today, so I feel like we kind of need to skip some of the not important parts. Alright, so this one, going for the Ragdoll and the Marsha there. I think Marsha is pretty good against the Edna and Oliver, obviously, but then... You know, because of Marsha's base HP, she's not very high, right? Most of the time, you're running things on speed, crit damage, attack. Edna skill tree capture could definitely stun your Marsha every single time. But once again, Pooh is opting for the Asher Chakra variant, which is going to be abusing Rexus later on in the grand finals. You see Rexus, right? I think for some reason, I'm not really sure how he managed to go all the way to the grand finals. There were a few times I feel like his drafting was a little bit sketchy, to say the least. Like sometimes he even forget to bring like Stripper when he's running AoE units. So it doesn't even make sense, you know, sometimes his draft, but then yeah, pulled through. So congratulations to him. But yeah, against Pooh, if you make those kind of mistakes, there's no way you're coming back from it. This guy will hop on all your mistakes. So you can see he already one-shotted that unit so easily. The Etna is kind of like a dead pick, I feel like. So last here, he kind of knows it. He can revive the Etna here to do some damage, I guess. Probably lay out the armor break, but I don't think that even matters because whenever you go for AoE attack, Etna being very high crit rate, Ragdoll fully counters it. I think Ragdoll is a really good force band here actually, but then Les probably thinks like he has the answer towards it, but nope. Too many attack bar for Pooh to gain. Especially when there's an Asher in the field to get the heal off as well. So this one pretty much game over from the get-go, and then we can hop on over to the final match here. So this final match I think is pretty close. You can see Les bringing out his Cheongpong as well. That is something that probably he wanted to keep for a while, maybe in the semi-finals. But yeah, finally bring it out. But Cheongpong against Fire Megumi and also Masha isn't really the best of choice right there. So not really sure. I think Pooh here, he could have actually just went for another very heavy, decent bruiser fire unit. Yeah, Abelio also makes sense. So you got a double kind of heals with the Eleanor. Basically, Abelio here I think is like a force band, you know? So you can see every single time it takes like 30 seconds. So yeah, Fire Megumi and the Chandra ban out. Basically the two speed leaders, and nothing much that Hagen can do at the start. Yeah, I mean you can strip, but then the follow-ups isn't really that good, right? So this one going for the strip armor break. The Eleanor actually resist was huge. I think if Eleanor got armor broken and gotten pushed back right there, game pretty much over. So Les is in a really bad shape right now. No stun, but then Hagen can strip. Gets double stuns here. Goes for the... I think this one he was very greedy. Les, I think he shouldn't went for the armor break. I think you should probably just go for the reset, you know. And Pooh also got a lot of additional turns too. So yeah, provoke lander, branding lander. Once those two are landed, is pretty much GG. Yeah, you can see the Abelio provoking the Cheongpong as well. Lancing gets the armor break and crit. Oh, this one really unlucky for Les, honestly. I think a lot of things could have been different. So Les just gave up. He knows that he kind of got accuracy check right there. Everything failed to land. If the Eleanor, like I said, got armor broken and pushed back, game over. Cheongpong land the armor break, pretty much game over as well, maybe. But then there's an Abelio for heals as well. So I think this one, really good comeback from Pooh. I don't know how he actually composed himself to make a decent comeback right there. And now we'll be taking a look at Rex's matches as well. Who was he up against? I believe it's the next one, right? Yeah, we'll just skip a little bit here and there. Oh, I think we missed it already. Hold up. Yeah, that's the thing about an 8-hour stream. I don't know where are all the matches that... And then there's no timeline as well. So it's like really hard to actually pinpoint where the matches are. Oh, it's after the Raigeki Panda, like, okay. Yeah, Raigeki also really sad though. I was rooting for him. I don't know how he got, like, demolished by Panda, like 3-0, I think. Okay, yep, here we go. So Rexes were up against Zezas. I think this one, Zezas in terms of drafting, once he's fixated towards a lineup, he just go all in, you know. He doesn't even take the time to like pick his units. You can see every time. I think one of the matches he picked in so fast. Like he literally Rexus locked in his units and he rebutted with 2 units and then straight away confirming it. Not even 2 seconds. Yeah, that's probably the difference between like Pooh and all these kind of other players where they really think really hard in terms of what unit is the best to counter the current draft that they are running. So obviously Rexus, like Hwarang user, I think no introduction needed. This unit is broken. Rexus kind of demolished, I think, this one. Now I didn't know he oh yeah, that Diesel buff is also pretty nice here. And kinda like a force ban. So this one, I think like every time you fight like Hwarang, right? You can never land your skills. The glancing is just too strong. So yeah, you get the stun onto the Moor. This one, you can see the Hwarang getting slow debuff a little bit, but it doesn't really matter because there's gonna be the heals coming up from the Rakuni onto the Moor. Not really sure who won this one though, but I think the Hwarang kind of did like a lot of work. Yeah, I think at this point, once the Oliver got the violent proc, the full reset, gain the attack bar from the Layla as well, pretty much game over. But yeah, look at Hwarang, man. Additional turn every time. I swear to God, right? There's 2 units in the game that violent procs a lot more than others. Fire Megumi and Light Hwarang. You can see, right? I think it's inevitable. I got feeling like something is wrong with this 2 coding. For some reason, I feel like their violent proc is insane crazy. Mainly because they get like tons of turns as well. But yeah, that is the 2 units I really hate to fight in Arte. Especially when, you know, personally I don't even have a Fire Megumi. This guy has been avoiding me like plague. Can't seem to get it. Summon so much, but then nothing at all. Sad. So yeah, you can see additional turn again. Yeah, I don't know what was he thinking. I think he was trying to like figure out who should I kill. Should I bring down the Shiho or the Fire Megumi? But I think Fire Megumi obviously is the better choice right there. The Moor hits pretty hard though. So this one, boom boom boom, this unit dies. He has been proccing twice every single time. You can see Zezas, right? He was so frustrated. So much anger right there. 3 turns the Hwarang move, 3 turns violent proc. It's like how to play, guys. I mean, like at one point this unit shines when he violent procs, you know. And obviously there's a Rakuni for the boost as well. As time goes by, he gains so much attack bar. Look at that. He laps everybody so easily. And the Hwarang here, yeah, damage goes through the invincibility buff. Zezas is like, yep, very good. Yeah, I can see he was a little bit triggered in the match, you know. And I think the next pre-ban was definitely the Light Hwarang already. I think a mistake here, Zezas, was not pre-banning Light Hwarang at the first phase. The first round itself. I think if he pre-ban Light Hwarang, at least he can 1-3-5 game match. Not having to deal with it, you know? I mean like round 1, round 3 and round 5. But I guess maybe he had like some answers towards it, but apparently not when the Hwarang goes like double times every single time. So that one Rexus, I feel like he was so lucky. So yeah, pre-ban here, obviously the Light Hwarang and the Vela already. And that's his downfall for Zezas, I think. I feel like if you pre-ban, if you're not really well versed against fighting like Hwarang like Pooh, then you have to ban it. It's a respect ban, you know? And then you go for RGB units. Because nowadays the meta for RGB is like really strong. You can see Jogan, Fire Megumi, Shiho, Annabelle, Oliver, all these kind of things are so prevalent in this season's meta. You don't really see like very hard LD draft right now. It's not really that good anymore. So yeah, we'll probably just skim through a little bit here. Zeza's wing actually went back for some Saga Chandra. I don't know. Is it still good? Chandra Sagar back in the day I know is decent. Yeah, Rexus went for light Inosuke here. Zezas with 2 speed leads and 2 units which has super high base speed as well. This one I believe Zezas won it, right? So yeah, Edna definitely goes for the capture, trying to stun off this unit more. Gets the reset off as well. And I think this one pretty much game over, right? The Inosuke didn't do much though. You can see like this skill. Yeah, you can land the armor break, but then no damage whatsoever. You stun off the Oliver here. And then once you place a slow debuff, 30% slow, plus the armor break. Look at the Atlas damage, man. Yeah, I think this one Rex's draft was really bad. Like, literally really bad. He has no units to contest for turn 1 and he still picked the light Inosuke right there. But yeah, he was kind of committed as well. Going for the Oliver Annabelle. I think Annabelle is not a good pick on that spot. And I think every single time Rexus got the light Hwarang, he lost. Like in terms of Zezas. So Rexus banning off the Hey Gang here. First pick gets the Shiho for Zezas. Rexus, you already know what's up. He always open up with Oliver Annabelle. I don't like this opening, honestly. I don't like Oliver Annabelle first phase draft. I don't feel like it's strong, you know? Like you can see here, right? Rexus, he go for these 4 units. There's no strip yet. I don't understand like the draft. Obviously, Hwarang is more like a solo potential at the end. Yeah, and then you just pick in a Chiwu at the end and it's a force ban, right? So even if you got speed lead, what can you do on turn 1? Pretty much nothing, right? Yeah, I definitely didn't like Rexus's draft this one. But I'm not sure whether he won though. I think this one, the Savannah got it. Yeah, the Savannah that did a lot of damage to push by armor break. So going for the Rakuni first. Placing all the debuffs. Unfortunately, the Oliver resisted everything there. But there's still nothing to reset. And that's the thing about Rexus, like I said. There were so many times, like during the Europe Cup as well. He picked a draft where he doesn't have any strips to follow through with his Annabelle. Maybe he hopes to just like, you know, when you're running on Annabelle and Oliver, what can your Oliver do if let's say they have immunity and whatnot, right? They suddenly go like Veladro plus another immunity user, Mockwool or whatever nonsense, you know, Wusa. And this one, Savannah gets the additional turn, able to kill off this unit as well. So yeah, right out the bat, 2 to 4, and Zeza's got a really good win. I think if you want to play Rakuni and the Light Hwarang, the other combination needs to be slightly different. I think you need to open up with Fire Megumi. Go for more Bruiser, because Oliver is kind of squishy, right? Although, yeah, he can be a little bit annoying here and there, getting the attack bar boost, but there's nothing much after that you can do. Especially if you don't draft any stripper in the team. So yeah, this one, the Hwarang literally did not much damage. Yeah, we can just fast forward a little bit here. GG. And I thought at one point Zezas was gonna make it through. Yeah. So let's skip a little bit here. Okay, for all the drafting, I'll go for ×2 a little bit. Because there's 2 more semi-final and obviously the grand final is I think anti-climatic in terms of grand finals, but all the matches leading up to it was pretty good, to say the least, right? So Rexus here, I think he did a very nice pivot here into the Misty and the Water Pudding Princess to highly counter the Sagar pushback. It's a force band material kind of thing, you know? So this one, Sagar gets the turn, full reset onto the Annabelle. Gets the stun onto the Jogan. And that's GG for Zezas, you know? Because his winning potential here is to have the Sagar alive. But trying to armor break the Misty and then follow through with the Massacre. But I think that there wasn't any window of opportunity for him to like get that done. I think he tried to focus the She-Hulk a little bit too early here. So I guess the stun, Misty with the attack break still do so much damage, man. Look at that. And as time goes by, Misty being Misty, I think he didn't have any answers towards it. Like for Zezas, couldn't do much. Vampire runes as well. Too good, man, this unit. It's always nice to have a pocket pick like this. That's why you see a lot of people ruining Mei Ho Wang and Smokey. They work really well together with Jogan too, you know, because Jogan provide attack buff. Then you got Monkey to lay out the armor break, or even Misty. One Monkey violent proc as well, you know. I think we always feel we always embrace that violent proc coming out from Mei Ho Wang. One armor break, one proc, confirmed it. With attack buff, definitely, right? So this one, yeah, just a formality. I think this one definitely did. Yeah, you can seal up the Josephine. There's nothing you can do against the Misty, you know. So GG, 2-2. This one went all the way to a best of 5. Like I said, really unfortunate for Zezas to lose this one. I thought he would have went a little bit further into the finals. And once it's round 5, that's like Hwarang, game over. Pretty much sums it up. So yeah, I think the huge mistake here for Zezas is to not pre-ban like Hwarang. And yeah, coming into balance patch, I don't know whether we'll see some changes, but I think there's gonna be some slight change towards things like Hwarang and Fire Megumi. I think Fire Megumi's attack bar increase is a little bit too crazy right now. 30% every single time you AoE. So you do AoE skill 120%. Like literally full attack bar he gains. Doesn't make sense, and he violent procs so much. It's even better than Burgild by the way. Like this fire unit, stronger than Burgild, which is a LD Nat 5. No comment. No comment. So yeah, hopefully in the next balance patch, I think it's gonna be happening when? Probably after this season's RTA, which is when? Our RT is gonna be lasting for another 50 days, right? Something like that. I think end of December we'll see a balance patch. Early Jan. So how is everyone doing? Enjoying your Sunday night? Yeah, like I said, sorry we streamed a little bit late today, mainly because yeah, there's Arena Rush. Just came back from dinner as well. So we started at 10 PM. How was my rush? I didn't get to like play really long. I only did the last 15 minutes. Just Punisher 3 and then yeah. Didn't refresh any swords though. Yeah, I was on the car. I was in the car going back from dinner, so couldn't play much. And this one, yeah, once like Hwarang in the field. Zayza still not opting the ban on it. And you even let through that Aya. I think no, you don't even call it Aya anymore. Exorcist, I don't know, man. The name is just too long. AKA Aya, right? Yeah, when you're running Chakra and then you're letting the unit through, it's just sad. Yeah, Oliver can get the strip. Didn't even get the pushback, which is really unfortunate. And once Light Hwarang goes, yeah, this thing also violent proc. Although there's will on to everyone on Zayza's side, but yeah, it's just so much damage. Look at that. Two hits from 2 units. Last hit already. No refresh, still P3. Yeah, I mean my defense is actually okay. It kind of holds up a little bit here and there, but Naftis Arena defense meta is not really good anymore. Because there's one unit that can fully counter it, which is that guy running right there. The one next to the Light Hwarang, you know? Every time you land any debuff, 25% health gone, which is insane. Now this one, Hwarang with the attack, debuff. You can see, right? Once the Hwarang doesn't get violent procs, how bad it is. It doesn't do much. As time goes by, he's gonna be pretty squishy as well. But very good solo potential. Yeah, here hits 3k already. You can control the Aya here, but yeah, Hwarang is basically gonna eat your whole lineup. I think he got a little bit greedy there, going for the pushback onto the Aya. Yeah, Veladro Oliver here doesn't stand a chance. The pure damage from Hwarang is just too good. You see, one proc, one unit almost died. So nice to have all these units, man. There were actually quite a lot of Light Hwarang users in World Finals, I think. So Rexus also made a decent comeback, you know, 2-1 lose. Was losing 2-1 and then managed to like pull through. So we can skip to the semi-finals. Here we were seeing Pooh up against Panda like. Yeah, here we go. And I think Pooh, right, he knows that he owns Panda like. He doesn't even give any face, like just running these kind of full LD draft, which is actually insane to see. And how well they actually pair together with, you know? Like, honestly, I don't think, like, on paper, Nyx, Han, Nikki, Bella does good together. Obviously, Zenizek is to counter the Gianna and also all the... literally counters the whole lineup from Panda-like. Because Sierra, Gianna, Monkey, Fire Megumi, Heigang stuns. 5 stun units. Zenizek is so happy over here, you know? I don't know why he didn't really thought of banning off the Zenizek. Yeah, this one, Nikki goes first. Just give the attack buff. I think this is the match where he just killed off 2 units right off the bat. So 50% chance to strip the Han, didn't get it. Boom, boom, boom. Sierra already very low on health. And then with the burst cannon, Sierra definitely dies. Gets the additional turn. Damage goes to the Fire Megumi as well. Han is moving. Yeah, this one is the one where he just sniped off 2 units and there's nothing the Gianna and Heigang can do. So good, man, this draft. Insane amount of damage. And like I said, even if it lands the stuns here, Zenizek, maybe he should have made the Zenizek moving in front of all the other units. But doesn't really matter. Yeah, Nikki with the girl's prayer. Gets the stun on Gianna. Gianna with the bomb as well. Yeah, takes so much damage. You cleanse the unit right there. And boom. 10,000 shots up. Hey gang. Yeah, this one was a really interesting draft to see. Especially in World Finals. I think nobody else like flags full LD draft other than Pooh. Everybody was going like very safe picks. Things like Oliver. You know, the usual RGB nonsense that we've seen every time and time again. Pooh, he knows Panda-like doesn't have any answers towards it, and he just abused that draft non-stop. Like literally no chance. No chance for Panda-like. Yeah, we'll skim through the drafting phase right here. So this one going for the Fire Megumi, Chakra, Asher. I think Panda-like opening here is pretty nice, but going for the Patter, I think the Patter is not really that strong here. Yeah, Pooh got the option to go for the Fire Monkey and the Misty option, but opting for the Water Pole instead. I think that is another unit that is underrated right now. It's super good against all this kind of AoE units coming up from Panda-like. So yeah, here we go. If I'm not mistaken, this one Panda-like got the win, right? So I guess the strip, yeah, you can. I don't know, man. I feel like maybe Patter ban instead of Annabelle. So Jogan here, yeah, definitely. I don't know why he didn't want to like seal anything. I think he was saving the seal for the waterfall, you know, later on. Yeah, there were just too much threat. I think this one he bought a lot of time for the other units to shine. So yeah, once Armor Break lands, Massacre able to one-shot the Oki. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, this one also pulled on like really convincingly. The Paul was just too strong. The glancing, man. I think a lot of people underestimate the power of the Water Paul's passive. So you can see every single time Massacre, the amount of damage done is crazy. So able to bring down the Oliver, and like literally what can Patter and Jogan do together, right? You provide attack buff for what? You got no damage. So in the future, once I got enough Devilmons, I think that is the next unit I want to actually put my skill ups on. Recently, I just max skilled my Chakra as well, so next up, definitely I'm looking at the Waterfall. Because for some reason, right, I don't know why Waterfall, like the LD units are the Nat 4s. The Nat 5s, all the RGB, all the red, blue, green, right? You can't even get skill ups unless you're feeding like light Paul, dark Paul towards it, you know? Which is pretty sad. I have a dark Paul myself, but honestly never used it before. So this one once again puts LD draft right there. And Pandalite still not bringing in any strong counters against it. He was like trying to fight speed with speed for this one. But I think Pooh here, he was... I think the Ragdoll and Gianna pick wasn't good because... Yeah, you ain't gonna be outspeeding a Shiho or a Sonya, right? Yeah, you got Ragdoll to counter things like the Shiho a little bit. Multi-hits, big crits most of the time. But you can see how slow that Moore is. I don't know, I think it's like a rage Moore for some reason. 0 attack bar, man. So next year, I think he didn't get any strips. Yeah, it was really unfortunate. Only stripping the Layla and the Han getting stunned up as well. Yeah, definitely a rage more. For some reason, I didn't really like the Ragdoll pick here. I think Ragdoll didn't do anything. And once slow debuff lands, yeah, game is pretty much GG. Han getting stunned up. Pooh is scratching his head. And I think this was the only win that Pandalite got, kinda. Yeah, here you can get the attack buff, but yeah, just too much for Ragdoll to... Yeah, it's just too much for Ragdoll to make a comeback here. Especially when nowadays, I mean, like, a lot of people run Ragdoll on Violent, right? So comeback potential, if let's say you want to get like heals and whatnot, if you're running Vampire, maybe there's a chance to win something like a Vampire Dio, but nah. Nowadays, I think obviously Violent Ragdolls are the worst kind of pests. 1 proc, 2 proc, non-stop. Torrent under the 30% health. So I believe this one was the last match between Pooh and Pandalite. Okay, and yeah, you can see once again Pooh going for full LD draft because he can. He was up 1-0, and I think Pandalite here, his Sonya did a lot of damage. Honestly, I think 32k on a Han is insane, but that Han is so tanky, man. Bro, how does that Han survive? 32k and he still left like maybe around like 5k HP on it. So essentially that's close to 40k Han. Like, wow. Although the damage output isn't really that high, I think we did see around like 4k. It's still decent, but obviously not as high as like a full damage build Han, right? So 3-4k on a simple solution without armor break, I think that's already really good. Like personally, I think you can build Han on a speed HP kind. Oh no, you need crit rate to get the attack bar, right? So maybe like a speed crit rate HP kind of build. Yeah, we can see that Han is also pretty fast, you know, moving in front of the Bella. And yeah, Pooh already celebrating, and game over for Pandalite. I think Pandalite, honestly, he made a really good run in this tournament. Semi-finals. Respect, man. This guy climbed so far. And then next up we have Rex's semi-final match, right? So Rex's was up against the hometown. Everybody was actually supporting Guts the Berserk. So many fans in Paris. Obviously he's from France as well. So he got his champion slot from the open qualifier. Able to represent the country. But I didn't expect him to like make a really good showing against Kalian Bao. I think that is also one for the books for Guts the Berserk. It's probably one of his best achievements, you know. beating the 2024 world champion so easily, like 3-1, something like that. And also the one loss was because of Kalembao getting like really crazy RNG. I think he was a little bit lucky in that match. If not, it would have been a 3-0 clean sweep. So very interesting to see like Zibala picked up right at the end. I'm not really sure whether that Zibala was a good pick though. So once again, Rex is banking on his Sonya Force ban, which would be the case. Guts the Berserk here. Very weird draft, honestly. I mean, like, you're running Oliver Annabelle. I guess Guts the Berserk is trying to take away Rex's combo because Rexus loves to go for the Oliver Annabelle into the Rakuni and like Warang, right? So yeah, here you ban off the Misty and you're kind of lacking good damage. The Fire Megumi is gonna be like super strong here. So this one, thinking it through, yeah, I think no brainer, right? You just put it onto the Oliver, make sure that the tune order is wrong from his side. And then you can also get the stun onto it as well. Not really sure what the improvise was on the Heigang though, because I guess he wants the Heigang to move in front of the Annabelle. Which should be the case, right? Unless he didn't like tune his units properly. Yeah, that was really questionable. Now with the slow debuff, he still opts to go for the AoE armor break. I think maybe healing up is slightly better. Maybe not. But yeah, once slow debuff is applied on your team, it's just so hard to make a comeback. And then you continue working on to the Fire Megumi, the Shiho is gonna be super strong here. Yeah, you can keep on stunning, but then your follow-up damage isn't good. I think Zibala here is kind of like a dead pick. So every time you land the silence onto the Oliver, Rakuni now, one more turn for the second skill. Does not proc yet, but obviously when this lands, once Leela gets the debuffs on, it's just so hard to deal with. Yeah, with the glancing magical time, actually getting 2 freeze onto fire units, which is nice. I think he also landed the reset onto the Shiho as well. Yeah, Oliver does good damage here. I think for me, right, in the future, I also want to like change everything to tank. I notice all the top players, like how they run their Gianna and Oliver, right? It does not have any crit rate, you know? Like all the Giannas is like speed, HP, super tanky. I think that is the option that I want to go for in the future as well. Because nowadays, if I run like a 190x, 19x Gianna, even if, yeah, Sonya can one-shot really easily. Because the HP on Gianna is like plus 20 to 22k at most. With a speed crit rate HP build. Yeah, definitely cannot sustain a... what's that face, Sonya? So this one, like I said, Zibala dead pick and we can move onwards. I'm not really sure about that Zibala pick right there. I think maybe if you wanted to play Luxac a little bit, go for Misty and Mei Ho Wang. Because Mei Ho Wang is going to be good against the Fire Megumi, the Layla as well. Yeah, you wouldn't get debuff that often because yet again it's fire. So a little bit of slight misplay on the pre-ban. That's what I feel. So this one, Rexus going for a very early Water Gojo. This kind of opening, right? I mean, if you go double fire and a water, yeah, Guts the Berserk is always going to go heavy water right there. So Annabelle and Josephine makes sense. Sierra Oliver, although is double win, right? But at least Sierra does like pure damage, so it don't really matter about the color of the Sierra. She's always going to be doing consistent damage once she lands the bomb. So yeah, Vanessa, Sonia at the end. I think this one was a very easy ban onto the Sonia and going for one more water unit. Yeah, Parjanya here was really good. I think he went Parjanya instead of the Abelio. You got Josephine to counter all the stuns from Raxus, you know. And obviously Jogan moving first, cannot seal up anyone yet. Get some decent damage from the Fire Megumi. Yeah, needed to stun the Sierra, but wow. With the attack buff, right, that unit hits so hard. Like, able to push back so much as well. That's the thing about this unit, it's just too good, man. So many things in one. Second skill, the pushback is like, what, 50%, right? Close to it. I always see like the attack bar goes down so much. So yeah, once bomb landed onto the Fire Megumi with the provoke as well. He stole the shield, so I believe that Fire Megumi survived a little bit longer. But yeah, the big stun onto the Water Gojo as well. Now, laying out the armor breaks. Yeah, able to survive a little bit. The Sierra hits quite hard, by the way. Normal attack, 2.2k. So the additional damage on... Do you even run at damage on Sierra? Most of the time you're running like bomb damage, right? So anywho, I think the artifacts on the Sierra is pretty good. So it steals the counter, but no stun, gets the additional turn. Yeah, you can always see the pattern, like Fire Megumi procs so much. Like, not even kidding. So here, able to heal up the Sierra back to full life, and pretty much this one is game over from the get-go. I think Rex's Vanessa pick was pretty bad. And he went very heavy fire. Like, honestly, Guts the Berserk last pick could have been anything really. Parjanya, Abelio, Chow. All these kind of things single-handedly wins the game. So yeah, you can see from the draft. Once again, Rexus slightly poor drafting again that he made here. So maybe, I don't know, man. I feel like he's just too complacent with running like Farang until he doesn't really know how to draft the rest. No, like Farang is just too good, man. If I'm a like Farang user, right? Honestly, I play that unit every single game. Bruiser lineup, Nyx, like Farang, all this kind of stuff. Karnal, fit in a Karnal there for HP lead. Throw in an Oliver just for the speed buff. So I got the Berserk here. I think kinda wanted to outspeed with a Asher, but I don't know, man. I feel like Asher doesn't really outspeed a Shiho. It will be pretty close, but I think Shiho always gets the slight upper hand, right? Especially when you got Fire Megumi in the mix too. So Rexus going for the Van Hunt right there. Very heavy fire draft once again, which this time kinda makes sense because he can capitalize on the double win coming up from Berserk. Going for the Fire Jin and the more luck sack direction right there. Because you cannot do anything against the Jin. I think that was a really good two last picks. So no matter what you do at turn 1, Guts the Berserk is going to get the chance to cut in between. Unless you ban off the Fire Jin Kazama and then you get the stun onto the Moor with the Shiho. But yet again, that Aya at the end, I think it's a little bit... Actually, it's not bad if you don't ban off the Layla, right? So it could be okay here, but on one hand, you want to be fast with the Jogan Monkey, and then suddenly you pivot just one unit that doesn't synergize with the team. If I'm not mistaken, this one Berserk got the win, right? If I'm not wrong. So you can see the amount of damage done from that Moor is pretty insane. Able to bring the Shiho already down to half-life. Oh. Oh wait, this is Aya kind of carried, I think. The Violent proc though. Yeah, and I think once Van Han got the turn here. Yeah, GG. The Aya 1 Violent, 50% health gone. I think if he didn't Violent there, maybe he had a chance to win. And yeah, here everybody already down to last HP. And it was a 2-1. Kinda easy win for Rexus. But I think maybe he shouldn't went for the Luxac play. I think the Moor and Kazama, yeah, didn't do much. Maybe fitting in 2 water units. Like you bring Abilio. I think Abilio would have been super strong right there because there were no units that could have actually get the reset. There weren't any Oliver on the side of Rexus. Abilio could have cut in between to heal up the whole team back to full life. So this one, Guts the Buzzer always opening up with 2 win units. Rexus, yeah, takes the Moor away. Gianna, Annabelle, Direction. Yeah, I don't really like Gianna, Annabelle, Direction here. Takes the Heigang instead. Although Heigang can be nice against these 3 units. So once again, force ban material on the Sonya. And you kinda need to let that limitless unit through, you know. The Wind Gojo. Wind Exorcism. Wind Exorcist Association Conjurer. Why do they have so long names? I don't understand. Couldn't they make it like slightly shorter? Like, I don't know, man. Conjurer or something? You don't need the Exorcist Association right there. Doesn't even make sense. So this one, Jogan gets the strip, pushback, done, limitless, boom, provoke 2 turns onto everyone, and Guts the Berserk is in Wall of Hurt. Although there's the cut in between from the Abilio, but yeah, with 2 turns provoke, you're not shaking off from that. It's just too strong. And then your Jogan can potentially just seal up the Abilio as well. Yeah, gets the additional turn once again. What's new? Seal up that unit, and things is just going south for Guts. Yeah, once Sierra goes down, the main damage dealer is removed. Oliver now able to get the reset off, but I think it was just a little bit too late. Although the Abilio proc so many times though. Was this the one he proc until he win? Kinda forgot, man. On the day itself, there were just too many matches to like watch. Like I said, the stream lasted for like 7 hours. So this one goes for the Nue onto the Oliver, gets the stun. And I don't know, every time I look at Fire Megumi, right? For some reason, he violent procs. Like every time we just talk a little bit about him, I'm not even paying attention on it, you know? It's always the additional turn words pop up. And because of that proc, right, he could have actually get the huge stun onto the Oliver here. And that kind of seals the fate of... Oh wait, he got a violent though. Oh wait. Hold up. No heal yet. Was this the one he win? Nah, can't be, right? Here he had to stun. Yeah, he got it. Hagan can place the glancing. Yeah, was this the one the Oliver violent proc into the win? Because he had the third skill, you know. I think if he landed the provoke right there, if he didn't violent proc from that stun away, yeah, probably did. Yeah, Abilio here has to go for the heal. Yeah, and gets the big crit. But as time goes by, more damage. You know, with the glancing and attack buff, you can see the amount of damage done onto the Abilio. Yeah, Guts the Buzzard knew it. I think this one was a little bit closer than intended because of that violent proc from the Oliver. If he didn't proc there, game ended like 30 seconds ago. So yeah, on to the finals here. The World Finals. Raxus making it up against Pooh. This one... Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like Raxus, for some reason, didn't have any answers against Pooh's draft. Pooh, I think he showed a fake, in a way, fake draft to pull the finalists, trying to prepare things like all the LD Net 5 comp. And then he went back towards the Chakra variant again. So against Les, he brought the Chakra a lot, but it wasn't with the Chandra. It was something like Asher. It was still Asher and Chakra, but more like Fire Megumi, stuff like that. And then this time he always brought in this was his new Holy Trinity, the Asher, Chakra, and Chandra. Those three did so much work because you're applying slow debuff, you have speed buff, which makes it so that Chakra hits a lot harder as well. Yeah, you can see the amount of damage every single time, man. It's just too much for Raxus to deal with. So actually he was also so unlucky not to get the stun onto the Asher, and once this skill is up, boom boom, look at that, man. Yeah, get some Despair stuns too. And once Chandra follows up, there's permanent immunity, by the way. Yeah, Layla can only strip one, obviously cannot strip the Eleanor, and Eleanor can go for this phase, cleansing, anti-crit. Chandra just goes for the slow debuff. And with the stun onto the Layla as well. So this Chandra is on Despair. I think Pooh's drafting here is actually quite nice. Like although he needs to depend on Despair stuns a lot, you know, because there's his Chakra is on Despair, Chandra on Despair as well. Asher definitely on Swift, right? So yeah, there's only one unit that he can proc, which is the Light Pony. Whereas on the side of Raxus, there's gonna be the Oliver proccing. Obviously Layla is on Despair. She holds standard Swift. And Fire Megumi, I think no introduction needed. That one just ruined Violent Will. Nowadays, with the Jogan always in the field, I think you kind of need to ruin everything up with Will. Especially if you want to play Bruiser as well. So if you have like a Violent Nemesis Mei Ho Wang, you see your opponent going for Jogan, that's not good because you can just seal it up and then yeah, kill off the rest of your team. And this one, Pooh literally just got a really good win just from the drafting itself. So at one point I felt like maybe he can adapt, like in terms of Raxus, trying to adapt the drafting. So this time he brought in the Rakuni and Light Hwarang. I think those two works pretty well together. It's like, you know, back in the day, Maul's Rakuni is like really hot. Anything with Rakuni with pure damage is good because you get double the chance to do more damage, right? So yeah, you can see how focused Pooh is. This one, speed leader on both sides. Although I didn't really like Pooh's Gianna at the end here. I think it didn't really synergize well with the team because, yeah, yet again, you need to outspeed like a Shiho and stuff like that. So the Gianna is more like a sitting duck right now. And also, unfortunately, Pooh didn't get the stun onto the Oliver. You know? But once Chakra moves, look at this. Boom, boom. Hwarang with glancing also took like 20% health, which is nice. And he just took too long. Obviously, with the attack debuff, that Masha did negative damage, by the way. Literally no damage whatsoever. And then he just tried to stun up that unit again. Yeah, look at the amount of damage done onto Masha. So once Hwarang doesn't get any proc, things just go south. With all the branding as well, the units are taking 25% more damage, which is nice. I feel like the Dark Nina, right? The mark is okay, but it's something like it doesn't do much, you know, because on one point, yeah, you can place the mark onto like the lowest HP unit, like in terms of the amount of health bar that they have. I mean, in terms of the max HP, right? So if you don't really want to focus a unit, you cannot even shift the mark over to another person unless you kill it off. Like it's not really good. And also the absorption of the attack bar, everything goes through accuracy check. It's not 100%. Even Lauren does a better job than Dark Nina, I feel. So this one, Oliver goes down, 3v2. Hwarang already dead. Like, literally dying here. Chakra gets this skill off again with the branding. And yeah, pretty much game over. Raxus at this point, I think, is like kind of tilting a little bit. Doesn't know what to do, man. He has no answers towards it. And easy win for Pooh once again for this one. So moving onwards to the round 3 drafting. Round 3 drafting was, I think, again, going for the Gianna at the end for Pooh. So Rexus here, Fire Megumi Shiho. I think he always opened up with that 2 units. Which maybe, hindsight 2020, he should have changed it a little bit. I think Pooh was very confident fighting that 2. And here, obviously, Lamiela will be doing the big damage, but at one point, how to outspeed, you know? Yeah, you kind of need to ban the Layla because if the Fire Megumi cuts in between or Shiho gets the stun, Layla goes after that. So I think that was a really good ban from Pooh once again. Banning off that Layla. And Shiho here has to get the stun. And this time he got it onto the Asher, but still, it wasn't enough, you know? It wasn't enough. Yeah, Lamela here, immunity all round. Yeah, you cannot even put the branding for big damage to follow through. And once Gianna gets the bomb off, with the critical error, yeah, it was just so hard for him to deal. Yeah, Rexus once again lacking like good strips. Always need to depend on the Fire Megumi to remove the wheel. Just one single target. This one he got a 50-50, but yeah, with the speed buff, Oliver didn't have any opportunity to like reset anyone. So once again, Oliver a dead pick. Yeah, gets the additional turn onto the Lamiela. I think this one he just went for the massacre onto the Fire Megumi. You can see the amount of damage done already. Pony doesn't even need to transform but gets the additional turn. Don't even need to heal up yet. So next turn he can cleanse all the things away already from the Lamela later on. So I think this point the Lamela had to just use the branding. I think he needed to just go for the damage, you know. He was banking on the violent proc, I think. Because you were already very low on health. Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe he wanted to try to get a branding first into a violent proc and then he could do 25% more damage onto everyone. But that wasn't the case, and here Asher just finishes off the Lamela because if he goes for the heal, even with the speed buff and the attack buff boost, the Lamela would have been moving after that. So he didn't want to risk anything, just remove the unit first. And then you got tons of immunity once again. Oliver with the bomb, 3-0. At this point, I think Pooh, he was so confident to win already. There you can see Rexus is like sweating a lot. And for the last and final match, this one, a recap of the grand finals. I think Rex's draft here was a little bit aggressive, but once again, lacking strips. You know, if Chiwu is banned out, who is your strip? You know? Things like you got single target only on the Shiho and the Okeanos. But letting the Chiwu through, mainly because Pooh knows that his units could probably sustain here. With the Misty and Mei Ho Wang, you know, those two units are really strong against all this kind of drafting from Rexus. Because Fire Monkey wins Shiho all day long. Like literally, you know. So here, once get the speed buff, Rain of Stones, the Misty and Mei Ho Wang doesn't get stunned up obviously because of the passive. Pushback to no avail, cannot even reset a unit. Monkey here. Did he get a stun? Yeah, he got it. You know, with the glancing, you land stun and a crit. You know things is going your way at this point. And with the glancing here as well, boom, 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 armor break lands onto the Oliver, and once the Mei Ho Wang is moving, the second skill critting again. I've never, I don't know, man. I feel like I use 100% crit rate on my Marsha and my Mei Ho Wang. Whenever I get a glancing debuff, I can never ever crit for some reason. It's more like 100% reduction of crit rate. So this one, pouring salt on the wounds, gets the violent proc. Okeanos already almost last hit. There's no heals from Rexus. The Chiwu is pretty much dead pick. Shiho here needs to carry. And for some reason, he goes for the Misty. I think maybe he should have brought down the Chakra first, you know. Because once Chakra gets the turn, there's gonna be the strip on the immunity and will. And 4-0, easy win. I think it was Pooh's easiest win of all time. Like 4-0, I think it's just too hard to deal against Pooh, man. This guy, he's a drafting god. He has all of the units to like literally counter every kind of draft. Like for example, if you want to go turn 1, like something like if you're a Gianna user, right, he got Zenizag to counter. Obviously, if you're running Oracles, means that they are gonna be critting more often than not. Then he has that Nyx and Ragdoll passive to deal with. On the other hand, he can also go fast with the Dark Megumi. He has that unit. Yeah, very, very well-versed monster box that he has. And once again, I would just like to congratulate Pooh. Superb job, man. I've watched him play his RTA matches every single time because I follow him in the... I watch how he draft every single time, right? There's a couple of players. I feel like another player that is always like high up in the ranks but doesn't really join tournaments is El Mimo. I think this guy, also another Ragdoll Nyx user, and he has really, really good runes. Like everything super efficient. You should check out some of his matches. I think El Mimo is also a really strong player. Hopefully one day he'll contest in Summoners War Championships as well. But maybe he doesn't need the money, I'm not sure. But yeah, once again, congratulations on Pooh from Vietnam, you know. Asia representative. I think Asia representative, almost all of the players in APAC region is super intense in terms of their RTA scene. How to spell his name? El Mimo. I think he is top 10 right now in RTA. He's always up there. Let me just double check. Yeah, Pooh is second. El Mimo is at number 11. Yeah, you can check him out. Very smart drafter as well. Hopefully we get to see him play in RTA Summoners War Championships one day. I'm not sure why he doesn't join though. He's like, 100k, nah, it's fine. I don't know. I'll give the rest. I give the money to people. It's okay. But yeah, for some people, 100k is so much, man. Especially in Vietnam, I think 100k USD is like, wow, how many million dong is that? Like Vietnamese dong. Can literally buy a really nice place with that money, I think. So yeah, that is the end of the Summoners War. Note, this will be the episode 3, talking about the grand finals. We can see our handsome CEO right here. Really love when he gets to show himself on the stage every single time. Every year we get to see him, you know, during the after party and stuff like that. And then he also hosts. He makes everything like. I feel like one thing we have to shout out is all the production crew. You know how much planning and stuff like that, everything to make all this kind of stream for you guys. So yeah, we have to give a really huge shout out to the production crew and Comters for always providing us a good 3-4 months of Summoners War Championships. You know, it's not easy to organize so many continents kind of thing where we have all the best players fighting in one region, and then the best of the best going into the world finals at one location, flying everybody right there as well to fight it out. Yeah, it's really nice to have these kind of events every single year, and hopefully maybe in the future we get to see more like 2v2. I think 2v2 is always like, for some reason it's like forgotten. I think 2v2 RTA could be a really nice change in terms of tournament wise. Like maybe in the future having some 2v2 tournaments here and there will be really great. I think that can open up a lot of different combination of monsters as well, because you have to kind of synergize with your friend or whatnot kind of thing. But yeah, I think hopefully one day we get to see those kind of things in the future as well. And last but not least, I think we are going to be also having the tomorrow update probably by this week latest, right? I think it should be somewhere around like in the next few days or so, because Sky Fever event all just ended. I think there's gonna be probably new events coming out in the next couple of days, and that should be something related towards the tomorrow update, right? So yeah, once again, one more question from James. Sorry, I just missed out on this one. Will Pooh have spent 100k US dollar on his account? I think definitely, right? I believe most of the top players that reach the finals have put in a decent amount of spendings here and there. If not, yeah, because it kind of makes sense, right? You have like 20, 30 LD Nat 5s kind of thing. I don't think free-to-play players can get that many, even if you play the game every single day, you know? Unless your account is like super lucky, like every time you got 1 scroll, every TOA month, that 2 scroll you get 1 LD Nat 5, then maybe. But yeah, that is like the 0.0001% of the accounts, I guess. Which is highly impossible, right? So yeah, congratulations to Pooh, and we are gonna end this one right here. So that's gonna be the normal streams back on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Once again, yeah, welcome to everyone for watching. This is the end of the Summoners War Note 3, okay? So take care, stay safe, everyone. Have a good night. It's almost 12 a.m. I do not want to hold you guys up for too long. Yeah, have a good week ahead, and I will see y'all on the normal streams on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Alright? Take care, stay safe, and I will see y'all soon. Peace out, bye-bye. Good night.